say, what free MPP more? But Bawumia is hunting you. Bawumia is hunting you. Bawumia is sitting in your dreams. Bawumia is living rent-free in your head. Because 2 years, almost 2 years, why is Bawumia still the topic of discussion? Why is Bawumia still the topic of discussion? Now, when I will rescue Ghana so, Nkrumah rescue Ghana so, UGCC for now rescue Ghana so, a tampon crowd no be operation feed yourself a Ghana. Oh here my near export here money bro, echo other countries one rescue Ghana so. Rollins Ibaya Junior Jesus Zambena Mena Watiwa. Rollins and be rescue Ghana so. Wo now be rescue Ghana so. Wo.
Are you aware? Do you know? Have you heard that Rosemond is a pimp?
Politically, no, or immature. Ain't no be a use no. Politically, no, or ye immature to say that what be rescue Ghana from MPP. Now, boss Dr. Bawumia on to me running Ghana. Just say pretty much since I a man appointment, we know they be a opportunity now a attacking Bawumia.
Rosemond wanted to serve DMB's food. How? When there's a protocol to handling his food.
Politics now won't say we are politically amateur. And sir, in novice now, because you are not matured in politics, no. Who names a Ghana for nim? Say before be bad defect in sika.
Listen, I don't know why Obi a switch camper. Yeah, na sa ni pa kro feel say wa copy heaven. I don't mean tiase. Rosemond Obeng, a former aide to Alhaji Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia. Yes. Now I am a former aide. But this particular story, I decided not to talk about it because I said to myself, say, okay, okwa uncle. There are more people around Dr. Muhammad Bawumia that can do the work. Now why you know. But of late, wakoka asembia na asamno even Kwame Nkrumah kura ntimianka. Enkomo na lady na akodi no. Even J Kufuor kura wentimi ndi sa enkomo no. JJ Rollins wentimi ndi sa enkomo wentimi anka sa asem no. Ewure free famo, ewura nanado. Even John Dramani Mahama, as I'm talking to you now, wentimi ndi sa enkomo no da. Wentimi mbie na no kura anka sa asem no. Na enkomo na wokodi ye no Oba Rose woko it is true we friend pipi but we chi go wo de wo hunu wo feel say wako join camp but the camp na wako join they don't trust you because we a traitor and when him ade no the man yesren say on he say so be free chire be ka obi hu asam chire wa sa ni pekro no e man akunua ntena so because wo man akunua tena so a oso de odo so de ekọ that is how NDCC is so wo nimu a Otigo, but the thing is, a mobana would dinner when shampabwa, Susuhuri, what it? Na Safone Kutaono, a Kuta will be paying. And Uber rescue wine, Ghana for, said the end. It was Yana Hosababo. NPP rough. Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer. Abe exposing a very big time. But I know it, Vim lady, abona do not trabaya no. But me person, me on post say kasa, but it was a written post. Until I saw the video myself, I'm say, hey, Nasibia was say kasa me and I say was swearing. Abusuya bia na wunya video bia they also go on written post said me hunu ye no. But share video we mami, it's about 5 minutes video. Share video we mami me ba. Expose biakoso. I'm going to give it to you.
Some people to understand that if you are with a group of people, you see that if something is going wrong, you have to change or redirect. What I did was to rescue the soul of the country. And it's sad that some people think I did it for more of a personal interest. It was to rescue the soul of this country. And I said this with so much passion. I am an NDC. Now I will continue to stay with the umbrella even till I die. Yes. What happened was nothing cosmetic. I didn't cut any deal with anybody. I just spoke my truth. I never even imagined that there would be a time I would be rewarded to serve or to be part of the NDC, administration of governance. It never came to mind. Thank you so much. It never came to mind. I just did that to speak my truth. Let me say, I did not know what will happen, but it was important to let people know that there is something so wrong to leave the destiny of this country into the hands of the MPP and my former boss. There was everything wrong with that. Do I have any regret? If I'm sad about anything, I'm just sad about the fact that the intent was done out of good faith. But for some reasons, people, think I am a betrayer, I am a snake, I am this, I am that. But it's far from that. Our anthem, the NDC's anthem, is speaking about the fact that we need to be patriotic. I did it from a patriotic point of view. This country would have turned upside down if we handed it over to the MPP. They know that my former boss, he knows that himself. He cannot run this country. And I said it boldly. It's very emotional talking about this because I wish people saw things from my perspective. I so wish that people will see this from my perspective on how we needed to do things right. I just spoke my truth. And let me also, correct this misconception. I had left, resigned working with him for a very long time. So it was some months to the elections. I've been working, but it was important to come out because people needed to be clear in their minds that I was no longer with the MPP. And most importantly, to let them know that if you had put your destiny into the hands of the MPP, we were going to be sorry for ourselves as a country. And that is why I came out. People say, was this the election? No, I was with the NDC. I was working with the NDC, but it was important. I had left for so many months. So it was important to, give that clarity to my shift. And so I would once again talk about how I'm happy to be here today. I've already spoken about the principles. I'm happy to be here today because today I could say that I am a proud member of the National Democratic Congress. Thank you so much, my sister. I'm a proud member of the NDC, and I'm also having the opportunity to empower young people. And to add on to what the other speakers have said, there is no one who hand you an opportunity. There's nothing like that you are beautiful, my sister. Take this opportunity. It will not happen this way. So if you are seated and you are waiting as a young girl, thinking that somebody will just call you and say you are beautiful, take this opportunity. It's never going to happen. You need to be very deliberate about it. Just like we are here, connecting with other people and all that. That is one of the ways in which, we get to break barriers of marginalization and all that. So please be bold. Please don't sit aloof. Don't say, I think I'm good, I'm knowledgeable, I am seated. It's going to happen. It is not going to happen. You need to make some moves, please. We cannot, echo this enough. Respectfully, we cannot echo this enough. And as a young lady in the National Democratic Congress, I can assure you that you are better off as a young NDC lady or gentleman than an NDC, an MPP lady. I was in the party. They don't care about the young people. They don't care. It was just about the elders, the people who could understand the rot, who could, join in. So if you are here, you should be proud of yourself that I am so proud that I am a member of the National Democratic Congress. You are better off. I'm not going to lie to you.
In fact, the highest Smart African media. And someone will say, no, what channel, or say, refuse or channel. I was be a lady in Casano. Obi no kasa na the moment your besha so kasa no as we switch him as we also or person will show caring as a person ma wonu say ade na wo kan e no kre na we switch him or chim sa no na dua na say we can no to the people hey we empty barrel we ankora hu dede even the NDC awakọ dwan no they don't trust you But the thing is, we carry na end it. Let's assume Vim lady din komo bia ho. Maybe mo wetie Vim lady. Na wetie NPP Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer Ralph. Wodin komo bi. But yembusi ho say empanimfo a omo defect call other political party from their party called other political party. Omo ye say bi ana NPP will be. Yo switching from NDC. Eba NPP. Busa ho say woye sa de we bi ana na me ba wo. Oso one de kwano okwa NDC no ankwa NDC say ni personal interest but ya more position waji. Oh yeah mo cancer mo ya mo nwene. Entinka wokọ ya wo se wokọ NDC no. Enna wokọ na okay me de me buy say me beboa. Wokọ ya more position anka ne papa mu a wo enya wo personal interest no. Na waka a kire mpanimfo o me pa mo cho me de me buy enchai. Me beto mpanimfo bi me beto ma ebi omu a omo som party na chenti mo mfa sa position we emo mo. But the adam a waje enti ya personal interest na dia. Ya mo nsua de ya mo nim de mo ye. Mo nsua de. And the lady we on the very first day me share ni video na eye Mary Wusi. Mami Mary Wusi de na no obey the Pentecost penia tami. Or on TV XYZ. Mami ni make statement be say lady we eba ho no. O ka trend this for say enya bibia na ye dede ye ntentimu. Mami we na kan sa mami no na kan. Wasiye bibia na ye ntentimo bibi ho anye ntentimo ye information keto bi. And this lady had the information ekoye. But the question is adentina na wo pese oni Dr. Muhammad Bawumia at the hotel baako. Now empenifo abeteneto. Na Vim lady abonadwene e de amano. But before that ye ni kantie Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer stand to be corrected. Yentie ni ntire mu nemra ye ba Vim lady nso akabi.
One evening, I got a text message from DMB to see him at 5. So I rushed to his office at the Jubilee and went into his secretariat and asked the executive secretary, Madam Lisbeth Utuka, to inform the boss that I was around. She did, and he told me to wait. So I went into the inner chamber of his waiting area to wait for him to call upon me. When I got to the sitting area, Rosemond was sitting there. We exchanged pleasantries and spoke lightly, and he called for Rosemond to come in. Rosemond went into the office, had conversation, a discussion with DMB, and came out. Then the boss called me and I went into his office. The first question he asked me was, do you know Rosemont? And I responded to him, yes sir, I know Rosemont. Then he asked me, how do you know Rosemont? And I told him that, oh, I know Rosemont to be a party person, and that she has been Deputy National TESCOM Coordinator under my predecessor Nana B, and has been in party service. So I know her, and I think that she also, you know, works around for John Boydu or so. Then he said, okay, that she wants to help with the campaign. She has reached out that she wants to help with the campaign. So he wants to find out from me if I could work with Rosemond within the youth campaign. And I said, okay, sir. Whatever you say, we work with it. I thanked him after our conversation, and I came out and I informed the guys, both Manaf and Richard, that this was what the boss said, that we add Rosemont to the youth campaign. At the point where working on data and also their movement plan. So when it was time for them to move, Rosemont was added to the field work for them to go out and get and prosecute the campaign. They go out. After 2 regions, I get report that there were simmering tensions with Rosemond after the 4th region. The complaints had gotten so worse that even some youth organizers were giving me feedback. So I came back to the boss and told the boss that I think there's a problem on the field. Rosemont is not gelling well with the team. Then he asked what we should do, and I advised that she's recalled. So DMB picked his phone and asked that Rosemont returns to Accra. I'm sure she doesn't know why she left the field. It's today that she might be getting to know why she left the field. She was recalled to Accra, so she had to fly and return, and the rest of the work was done successfully without any hitches again. When she got to Accra, she was assigned a role at the campaign office, and this is important. She never worked as a presidential aide. She never worked at the Jubilee House. She was assigned a role at the campaign office. After a few months, I started getting complaints from the campaign office as well, that there were problems there. Then I get a call to come before DMB. I go, we talk about other issues. Then he asked me, are you aware? Do you know? Have you heard that Rosemont is a pimp? Then I said, sir, as far as I know, I have no evidence that she's a pimp, but it is an opinion people hold about Rosemont that she's a pimp. And he said, okay, but I don't have any evidence, but that's the opinion about her. And he said, okay. Later on, I hear so many things that have happened in the office. Some amount of lies and issues of disrespect, and it was beginning to cause some disruptions in the office. She was assigned a role, she leaves the role, and she was more interested in following DMB around. And when she started following around, that's where a lot of information, began to trickle in for all of us to understand. At the time, DMB was the sitting vice president. Wherever he gets his information from, I don't know, and I can't go and ask him. So he was getting a lot of feedback and information. Using DMB's name in doing things that were not proper. And I'll share just a few because I cannot speak to everything. DMB was going to UK for a program, and a list was sent to the protocol officer to work on. Rosemond takes her passport to the protocol officer and says that DMB asked her to bring her passport. But the protocol officer who has been working around knows that that is not the right procedure. That's not how it is done. Upon further checks, it was established that it was not true. It was not DMB that asked her to do that. You cannot use the man's name in such a vile manner without his authorization. Then there was another incident. She wants to sit in meetings she's not supposed to, and at one point my boss Samia Uku questioned her, do you have to sit in this meeting? She said yes. The boss asked her to sit in the meeting. But Sami knew that no, that will not be the case, because that meeting she wasn't supposed to be there. And later checks also revealed that she was not supposed to be in the meeting, and she lied about that, saying that it was the boss that asked her to come and sit in the meeting. There are many instances of these things I don't want to, mention, but just to give a clue of some of the things that were happening. Senior management began to, get uncomfortable, to the extent that Rosemond wanted to serve DMB's food. How? When there's a protocol to handling his food, how do you come just some few months you want to handle the man's food? All of these things were happening concurrently, not gelling. Then you came to meet people at the office. Now you wanted to show that you know DMB more than those people, and Papa said this and Papa said that. Then people will say, no, this girl is talking too much. Even if Papa said something, you do not take it out and say Papa said this, Papa said that. Now for the NDC people who clutched on to straws and accepted Rosemond because she came to tell a pack of lies, how come Rosemond came to the office and left, and all those who have been working at the campaign office there are still present there? Only she could not make it, and you people didn't see where the problem was. Why would you, Rosemond, treat the man that gave you so much opportunity in this manner, when you knew that you were disrespecting people? And that was the cause of your problems in that office. Why do you go and lie on him? That he should have fought for you as who? Fought for you because you disrespected your seniors, people who were way higher than you, people you came to meet. He didn't protect you, so he's a bad person now. It is okay to switch party and camps. My brother Awal cross carpet from the NDC to NPP, but he didn't do the kind of things you have done. In 2000, President Kufuor's campaign manager this team last minute and cross carpets to the NDC. He didn't do these things that you have done. So let it be on record. You were never a presidential staffer, a staffer at the office of the vice president. No, you were not. And to get back to this story, when DMB realized that, okay, there were so many problems, with this whole Rosemont thing in the office, you always want to follow them around and so on and so forth. He said reassign her to Nana Pia Virus, who was then leading the volunteer groups campaign side of issues, that reassign Rosemont to the volunteer groups so that she can get time and do the field work as she likes. Rosemont said no, she doesn't like it. She won't do that one. She wants to be where DMB is. So she refused to be reassigned to Virus and work with volunteer groups. All of us, when the man gives us instructions, We don't pick and choose. When he calls you and he gives instruction, we follow. But you had the guts to choose what you want in the office, and that you refuse to be reassigned to volunteers group where you could still move around the way you wanted if it was field work. And the whole drama you put up there. One time, Rosemond follows the vice president to Sunyani, and this girl goes to cry in Sunyani because she was not put in the same hotel as DMB. She was put in a different hotel. Not that hotel is bad, but just because she was not present in the hotel DMB was lodging. How can you behave this way? How can you behave this way when there's protocol to these things? That the very closest people to him are the close protection, his ADC, his valet, and so on and so forth. People who do immediate things for him. Even some of us who have worked with him for so long, we don't stay with him at the hotel all the time. We travel with him. We can be in faraway hotels. When day breaks, we all come back to where he is. So you get the opportunity to travel with him, and you go and put up a show, cry because you're giving a hotel separate from where the man was. Like, what kind of obsession is that? So this is just the crime of DMB, that you have to paint the man so black to the world. You've gotten away with the murder for too long. And let it end there. Let it end. Let it end. DMB did no wrong to you. You messed up. And I hope that young people would not behave the way that you did. That you show respect when you come into any setup. You work with the people. You don't come and say that you are more special than them. You came to meet people there. Renel and Co are all still in that office. You have left. They are still there. So who is the problem? Now let me tell you the concluding part of the story. And that's why I got disappointed with this free zones woman. I don't know her. I can't. Is it? We'll see something. That at a point she was a security risk. Who was interested in harming Rosemond? Nobody. Now, after a while, when all of this brouhaha happened, I went back to DMB and I told him, sir, this young lady, I think that we should find something for her. And he said, yes. What do you suggest? And I said, oh, we should get her a scholarship to go out and, cool down her head. Because some of the things I am hearing, not too pleasant. Then he says, okay. So I suggested he calls somebody, and he picked the phone in front of me, and he called the person and told the person that, oh, can you do this scholarship thing for me? Then the person said, oh, we are not in the scholarship window yet. In fact, we are having troubles with scholarship, but anytime we are going to work on this scholarship thing, we'll get back and sort this particular matter out. Not long after that, we started picking these things. Movements, discussions going on. So who says we didn't know? And who was interested in harming her? What political value does Rosemont add to us? Between Samuel Uku and Rosemont, who would you pick on any day in terms of political value? So the man does all these things for you, and he's the bad one. Just in 6 months, you think you know DMB? That you come and say all the things you have said about him?
A clear case of political immaturity. Political immaturity, or you're politically immatured, and I say that respectfully, because I mean, me penasem, but for any defection, it was a bad decision. It was a bad decision, and it is a decision born out of political immaturity. Politically, no, or you're immature. Anything will be a use no. Politically, no, or you're immature to say that what be rescue Ghana from MPP. Now, boss Dr. Bawumia on to me running Ghana. Just say pretty much since I a man appointment, we know they be a opportunity now a attacking Bawumia. By your presidential staffer. Bawumia has not been in the picture for about almost 2 years. Focus on a Jumana Mahamadiama on a ye. Focus on a Jumana Mahamadiama on a ye. Don't talk about Bawumia, because who can Bawumia say whether Obetimia running or minor or non running or minor is immaterial, because the fact say over 1 million, almost 2 million people voted against MPP. No, actually say people don't want Bawumia. They have taken their decision. But then also in the future, no, people will not want Bawumia. Into this tangent, say the Bawumia platform you are talking about, but it's a broken record. What you are too about here Bawumia and MPP dada? It's okay. People have moved on. We are 2 years into NDC abai. Unya platform now for platform can about Niama President Mahama ye 24-hour market. Dear ma one almost 2 years. They are waiting to deliver. Or so best stop it galam say was stop here non stop here or so be rescue or my with me ya now ye or so be deliver. I mean jobs no way big push no way roads no way more yeah a friends a sole sourcing contract. Use your platform to talk about the successes of President Mahama. Don't waste your time talking about Bawumia, because right now we're defective from MPP to NDC. Bawumia should not be your cup of tea. Now I say, oh, and this is a classic indication. Say, we're free MPP more, but Bawumia is hunting you. Bawumia is hunting you. Bawumia is sitting in your dreams. Bawumia is living rent free in your head. Because 2 years, almost 2 years, why is Bawumia still the topic of discussion? Why is Bawumia still the topic of discussion? Now, when I will rescue Ghana so, in Kroma rescue Ghana so. UGCC for now rescue Ghana so a tampon crowd or no be operation feed yourself a Ghana or here my near export here money bro a other countries want rescue Ghana so Rollins buy a junior Jesus Zamina Mena Watiwa Rollins and be rescue Ghana so wo now be rescue Ghana so madam mpacho to abutre politics no unche wo mu me bebre and yes it's not about ageism, it's about the fact that my politics I've covered politics for almost 25 years, so I understand politics politics because in can allow politicians no use to sir, because unim 10 years the basi unim 20 years the basi. Of course, Ghana said the NDC cannot be in power forever. Rollins almost 20 years. Rollins almost 20 years. It's tables not 10 years. What will you do? Dear Juma now be what will, because a madam for a friend saying a piece be on Facebook, and I'll read a piece to you. But when me mobile, baby, I will do life for corner. Politics should not consume your life like that. Because anye Ghana obi a career minimum be a that now be first lady, that now be minister kesiye bi, that now be obi. Oh, you cannot erase the fact of Bawumia from your career. Or career record no, your career trajectory no. You can never erase the fact that you used to work for Bawumia. Oh, to me you free mo, usivi mo. Into what now be baby. Now do receive your quote on a reference won't say why you do more Bawumia. The way you are running down your former boss. Bawumia near you cross forward you memo. Ka wuni MPP mu na wunye adwuma ma Bawumia. Oka say NDC ba be fa. Even the fact that you have defected because NDC will say we adwuma ma ba. You see, and me say a classic case of political immaturity, amateurish. Such an amateur, respectfully, I say that with the greatest of respect. We are politically immature, such an amateur and naive, political novice, and can mistake when we be da. NDC discovered you and decided someone will back as defective because you were working for Bawumia. Because the fact that you were working for Bawumia gives you political capital. Because there will be any more politics. But if you work for some people, the fact that Obeng power into access to some information or access to near maybe now be politically valuable. NDC only asks you to defect because we are Jumama Bawumia. Inti yes, Confubonia, what's my yard for Mama Confupabano? Ye Madam, this is a political suicide. Unima, NDC Nankasa woman, Mustapha Pebi womb, your friend Kakri someone, my boss. The boss, no mean didn't want to. Your friend Kakra is someone, Busakakre someone. Busakakre someone, no political knowledge, no more political wisdom. Now, we mistake. Udia, wo, and I'll be President Mahama Crown Kodina baby and Council, no be rescue Ghana. Wo, and I'll be rescue Ghana. Really? You want to say, we just in Krumana. Want to say, Jama, we are Rollinsiana. And now who want to say, we are champion. Madam, Dojidio. Slow down, Krana, won't do baby. Classic image. Let me show you. Missy Busa Kakre Samoa. Kakre Samoa, a director of communications for NDC. O defective from MPP to NDC. Busa the entire Besine. Kakre Samoa, when he was with MPP, he was one of the biggest names in MPP. Those days, back in the days, Sani Yankolani radio, Joy FM, Crossfire. Kakre Samwani do ajawomune Tony Edumu and a first Crossfire. He was such a bold voice across the carpet by NDC. NDC for silence, no. Because Obia across the carpet in politics, nobody trusts you 100%. And Kakre Samwa, since so defective NDC has been committed to NDC, he's still NDC Besine, but still for some reason, NDC for still don't trust him 100%. Into the Busa make Kakre Samoa him. But he is one of the people Abusa or phenomenal aunties, so they will tell you one of the biggest names ever in Ghana politics. And there in MPP was Kakre Samoa and no defective MPP. Plus one Mama Sama another experience. Ubeshian and I bet you what they are with the entire this is a political mistake. It's a political novicism. Adia why you know political immaturity wow. One kasa oh sell. Who sell political future? Just say, hey, let me show you this one. Papa, your friend Alaji Nusa. Alaji Nusa, no, your President Kufo, 2000, July 2014 to 2000, July 14, 2000. Kufo time. Tatane Rollins Netia Konyaso. We were about to vote in 2000 election. One of the critical elections are now it was obvious that President Kufo will win that election. Last minute, Yabetwabano and a papa we just less than 6 months to elections. Less than 6 months to election. And Alaji Nusa, President Kufo, personal assistant, the campaign manager, or defective from MPP to NDC. Or defective from MPP to NDC. Or no any the Okoje no defective. NDC for Bebre. In fact, yeah, two abaniwe ya na Alaji Samba MPP mu. Or say or returning back to MPP. Why? Or say when you know because NDC for grab bebre blame no say omuluzu elections or no or defective from MPP or by NDC into NDC for lose elections into or back to MPP. Let me show you the article said about Rosemond. No, Uba won't say politics mu nyini nti na wudi sa but sanka we matured kakrebia so as time Alaji Nusa a defective and was July 14, 2000. Yet two abaniwe 2000 President Kufo winning election. President Kufo was former as governor Alaji Nusa Wanuno. And this is a controversial former campaign manager of President Kufo Alaji Isaka Nusa, who defected to National Democratic Congress NDC in the run-up to the December elections, has announced his return to the new Patriotic Party at a press conference in the capital Accra. Nusa, whom some NDC members blamed for the party's loss in the 2000 election, told the press conference that he made the decision after a sober reflection on the current political events in the country and on the advice of both his family and well-wishers. Patani defectee ko NDC. Ko ji nisika ko NDC oye no bae. Uka so bi enim se sister wa ko ji Ghana. Uka so bi enim say yes Ghana ko ji. Politics so bi any one more sorry ko defect keke. Politics na won tiase we are politically amateur. And sir in novice now, because you are not matured in politics, no. Nim se Ghana for ni nim. Say before be defect na sika. There is no way information na ukutano obi better without giving you money. Because what Bawumia information because of the proximity with which you work with Bawumia. And some information in NDC for ebe who say defective bra. and I'm power defect koye. Into NDC for and in fact I may both video ni biom chama mbohu or can some new and some monocra should have shown here say or NDC for no trust no. And some bono now phone or should have shown the NDC for no or supporting no. Omunim say sika na wakojo na ka send this for no majimi and waka say Ghana for na ka no say ejimi ana na be crocodile jo be catch say oh you were passionate about Ghana and now dey Ghana intent now dey call ye papa when the last minute close to elections of Missy Alaji Nusa classic example ona na no kobusa Alaji Nusa family no mun ka story nature now wa beton boss ama ni opponent now opponent nka wo dey tina wo dey di ho presidential staff and you have earned it because defection me see yen defect simple sa madam on politics I say before NDC be catch us say you defected nkomo bi omo ne obebo bia ye nkomo a omo dey collecting data, they are collecting information, but because politically when you matured into NDC has collected data into to one our say oh dear I dream kind na me dey buy and ya dream boni bia me nko kan bibia NDC, the NDC has already used you to collect the data but you don't know because politically you are immature. Amateur politician. Madam, baby, I'll connect through. My see, go and check. My member voice in the mucho. NDC for Nankasa don't trust it. Even till I die. Oh, ton life for crime NDC for one bomb Muslim. Nipa 3 be pen bomb Muslim. Serious. Nipa 3 be pen bomb Muslim. Because the people in NDC now are matured. Omunim say obia last minute. Now 4 years, 8 years in now I'm defected to NDC. The 2017 when defected, 2018 when defected, 2019 when defected, 2020 when defected, 2021 when defected. Bawumia also any bonny fund the soul of Ghana, kum Ghana near then when defected, 2021 when defected, 22 when defected, 23 when defected, 24 and now defected here. And you want Ghana for to believe you. Say yeah, odi akuma kind because you want to come and rescue Ghana. Seriously, sister. Yenyan krasa mpacho stay focused. Enya wona be rescue Ghana. Sister. Enya wona be rescue Ghana. Who do he? Who can Misiko I've given you a list of all the people who have defected in politics. Now what necessary? Now I say we trajectory no of their political career. No one say from the time we defected and to 10 years after their defection, you could see what saying. Rashid Bawa, Boniface Abubakar Siddiq, a friend saying Honorable Asante Asenkegwa, Alaji Inusa ya President Kufuor campaign manager, and Inusa Isaka, Mabo Munyinedian Chakakre Samoa. From the day of defection, 10 years after the defection, you could see almost saying, and we homework, go and do that. Now, member can be so na ube chile Ghana, ube rescue Ghana so, Nankroma Kra Wuko, also beko. Member can't that so wo na be rescue Ghana na president mama udi na chi. You see, and some people ya because of political immaturity ntino omo politician ya mo kakra tafria opeso ya explaining no champion watapo lambantem ono de oyeche obia. That's what she's doing. She wants to overcompensate because mahama nkasa nim so owo dem na se o kasa na oba wa mahama will make sure to be giant komono. Because what in it trade to boss what me I sabotage boss that what me committee industrial espionage the way in espionage corporate industrial espionage what me record boss near there they come another party who can send this if Jimmy and Mahama or bank common over they will stop the presidential staff at Juma now and we are just doing it in default. Omo bon komo NDC serious people aparachi kisi bon komo major strategic issue omo be din because omo say said you defective from Bawumia ho abaye no we be sent to me defective ko baby because they all pay there am in government and you have defected from government to government. Technically that's what you have done. You are trying to convince NDC for so who they are champion but you see who they open all fair weather open good life opposition because NDC for opposition no more suffer na only man suffer. You were in government with Bawumia who 8 years ni nyina who try just a few months to election now defected ko NDC, so you have defected from government to government. Wo de chepe soko na mape wo de soko na ope enjoyment every day umpe bre umpe nkofo ko poster umpe nkofo ye campaign to do room to room atamo say ye campaign na we well, Mahama started 8 years in opposition. Mahama suffer that way. And then the Bawumia co-opposition won't say yes or source of funding na ending. So who elections? When you read the Musa Dan common research now who say Bawumia they own winning and I was a mamin defective got NDC na min konyabi. Nti from government to government, o de on pay breda. Government to government. Madam, yes steady. Na ye mu bi ani da ho. We will not allow you to come and pretend to any Ghanaian. We will not allow you to come and misrepresent. We will not allow you to use emotional blackmail to present yourself as genuine, as holier than thou. So that defection now, yeah, and any holy defection, any genuine defection, it is motivated by your own interest. Wow, nka presidential position staff anu ka kwaji nka catch president mama say mempe. I only genuinely wanted to rescue Ghana into presidential staff anu mempe. But what could the presidential staff? Who ya person who catch Ghana for so the owner we are sura before only angels na too said the anopa. Who the holy and holy and holy. Madam, yesterday ni enka no krencho. Yesterday ni enka no kre encho. Na me so brebre. In the next 10 years, so the one can for pen, not for book, not all. And men can say if you shame come because me a prophet. But you see a political analysis. When you do the analysis, you can project baby will be back over pen. Baby, I would ojiran obekwa kopem. Enti wo de said you be catch Will Smith no take Bawumia's name out of your mouth. What you say? What we need power me NDC. Say oh one power also rescue Ghana good. What we need power me NDC. Take Bawumia's name out of your mouth. Put Mahama's name there and project Mahama. Yama Mahama honya akono. Yama Mahama honya fe. Ton Mahama anopa. Ton Mahama wia. Ton Mahama enumere. Talk about Mahama. Don't talk about Bawumia. Why? Ton Mahama. Not 24-hour market here, Mahama is who they project it. And your man, President Mahama, you project it. Keep Bawumia's name out of your mouth. Because a clear case.
And now of you say, and no, like one go for personal interest, but the man position what you didn't go for your personal interest, but who got penny for a man penny for that same position right there, man. And keep it in their mom, but the man what? Any problem? But the success what? Baby, I wouldn't want to what see you keep on Obewa umbrella and I say to die. Are you yate? But when him Fasha with him say, Bim lady didn't come say in 10-15 years to come, maybe you will have this ambition to become MP. Yeah, 10 years of crowd say, Vim lady 10 years crowd 10 years what? They are to become to behold a bigger position at 10 the way. Na yeah, the information. Ubetro say one Dr. Muhammad Bawumia you do pay. Okay. What kwa you be find out. Okay, Papa, also one why you do near there. You are a traitor. What's your political career? Because won and this never more this opportunity. Unya. Unya. Even the basic grand. The base me pamucho. Yes, me. Even the basic crowd munjo. I mean the base you know I've been watching the party in one penny but who Rosemond who my yanjo the base in Joe never hey traitor like you who go Jones the now won't call no won't so be Obianka was that is what that Salam that is what I told myself say okay yes woko uncle over the party more uncle she added nothing to the party. Where by you know person Dr. Muhammad Bawumia at the hotel room back for what? Now wouldn't him so worry for day. And then I was a one person was serving Dr. Muhammad Bawumia for day. Now I matter yes not a pimp. It was just what a pimp I say. Well you know yes not say a pimp or a or phone. Did this what to come yes. And now but Dr. Muhammad Bawumia was very smart. And now we're in investigations because then time he was a vice president. Emma or mine. And to we're in investigation, I said, "Dear we, some American here, obey me, Bonnie. Hey, now why do you want to serve a vice president all of a sudden? Now, we'll be a picture in bad obey. And in way, young was switching. And I was switching for it was I was say, hey, where you go? Aye, what you go? I the other baby I would do Tiako Rano, which ego, Rosemond Obeng, which ego, which go, so only more. And I'm catching myself one could tell no fools only first person, it could be answered, could tell. Would you miss him in Hurry, when Shampabois? A bewo, a bewo one night. Aqua to he'll be too. Yammy, like, oh, hey, I don't know why you know a political suicide. What's so more comfort at the Ahumasum? Keep on being under the umbrella obi an kan trust bra na wo ba pa na NPP saje wa na nka NPP nso de wo ba pa na NPP saje wa on we no mu ina da so ka Dr. Muhammad Bawumia wono mo boni din but NPP won panin fodo aden na mo hwe moye nhwehan ma we mu da so kasa tie Dr. Muhammad Bawumia obi a wo papa na ma wusikada wo fidi wuda aden mo NPP for trade enti obi ani asem bi obeka chele the way moye din hwe no one say Bawumia nko na as what like how mo ya is slow government NPP is slow government and this enye brai and aba respond here and can NPP ni bia me respond to this lady adi NPP a youth young girls and young boys NPP penny ben and aba respond to this lady na yen hwe han ekiko so we say we anko for the personal interest but we anko 2021 we anko 2020 we anko 2022 2023 2024 no ko okoton information and information you tell was it chenika ya to was it chenika like who the hell are you abusu wada woro mayenko comment section yen konkodi nkomo medium ko huni see na me dia brew and I gana ebobo ntino na me yese me nye videos to me ye ba akopɛ enti wada woro ma yenko comment section yen konkodi nkomo like na fe san shema foforo no chichi bench me din e de oduman komo ba na ko fifuma sanje bi